Okay, so our next topic is about ratios and proportions. Now, a ratio is really a division problem. So you can think of it like this. A part you can think of it as like a part over a whole. So, for example, a piece of pizza. You can say there's 6 slices, and I take in 1 slice. So 1/6 of the pizza that I have eaten. Another way you can do this. Um, 55 miles per hour. So every hour I go 55 miles. So this can be 55 miles in 1 hour of time. So in 2 hours, where would I go? 2 hours, I will go 55 times 2, which is 110 in 2 hours. So those are ratios. Ratios just tell you something. Even dice. A die has 6 sides. So what if I roll a 3/6? What if I roll a 1/6? A 2/6? Each time you flip the dice, that is what we call a ratio. Now, a proportion is actually two fractions, two ratios that are equal. And so let's say, for example, 1/6 is equal to 2/12. And I hope that you can reduce this, you get this. Okay, what about 3/4 is equal to what? 6/8. Those are equal. So those are proportions. Now I want to solve proportions. So, you know what a ratio is? So now we're going to solve proportions. We're going to solve proportions. So you're going to say x over 6 is equal to 4/5. Now, this is what we have to solve. We have to solve for x to make these two proportions equal. Remember, a proportion is when you have two ratios that are equal. So, how do we do something like this? The process is this. Step 1. We are going to cross multiply. We're going to cross multiply because we're trying to find this value x. Okay. Step 2. Solve. Solve for x. Just x. Okay. So here we go. What you're going to do first is cross multiply. The only reason you can do this, is when you have two ratios that are equal. That's the only time you can really cross multiply. So, to do this, you're going to multiply. Okay? So, multiply those. Equals. Multiply those. Okay. Okay. So now, since we have the x's on one side, just multiply. So, 6 times 4 equals 5x. What are we going to do now? Divide. How many 5s goes into 24? 5 goes into 24 4 times. 4 times that is 20. 1 decimal, which comes down. 5 goes in that. 2. So 4 times 2 is going to be your answer for that. So what we did, we had the equal sign. We cross multiplied to get to that, because you have two ratios that are equal. Let's try some more. Okay. So let's try this one. Well, we have two ratios that are equal. That's a proportion. Proportion means you have two things are equal. So, what's our first step? Cross multiply. So, you're going to take this and you're going to take that and you're going to cross multiply them. So we have 5 times x equals, you see how we're keeping the equal sign? 2 times 7. So this is that one. That's that one. So now, what do we do now? We have to get the x by itself. So we have to itself. We have to get the x by itself. So we're going to draw our line. That goes to 1. And then you simplify this. So how many 5s go into 14? 2. And how many? Let's see, 5 times 2 is 10, 4/5. Okay. That's the fraction part. On a calculator, which you should be using for this would be 2.8. So those are those problems. So let's do some more. This one over here. Let's do x. So what we're trying to do is that we're trying to solve for the x to make this proportion equal. We're trying to make these proportions equal. So cross multiply. Okay. So that's going to be 4 times 5 equals 3 times x. Now, multiply. And then what? Divide by 3. Three goes into 20, 3 times 9, 21, 3 times 8. 3 times 8 is 16. No, let's see. 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 6 is 18. So it should be 6. Okay. 6 and 2. 2/3, or 6 point, what 2/3 make as a decimal? 6. So that's pretty much it of this. A proportion and ratio are really identical in solving them. Okay, so I want to at least do one more. Try this one. A little bit more advanced for you. Try that one. So, here we go. You have an equal sign. You can do this. My first thing to do is take that away. So that should be, and then half of that. Would be the first thing I would do. Well, don't you have a proportion? We have two equal sides, two ratios that are equal. Okay, here's your cross multiplying. Now this is going to be 2 times x minus 3 5 times 1. This is 5. Now, just distribute. Okay. Add 6. And we're working the thing down. This comes over. This goes to 11. Divide. And how many of those go down? See that 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 5, 2 times 1/2. Yep. So that's it. That's your answer. If you would have put this for this, you would get 5. And that's the whole thing about this. Okay. Hopefully this helped, and I will see you in the next video.